Hi, I'm Annamarie from Fledgling's Flight, and I am so excited to you about talking to you about Fledgling's Flight. For those of you who haven't been to a virtual Prego Expo before, Fledgling's Flight is an app and customized subscription box for parents of children 0 to 3 years old to help them optimize their child's development through play-based exercises, milestone tracking, and customized monthly subscription box that's tailored to your child's unique developmental needs, whether they're delayed, on track, advanced, or asynchronous. So if you have any questions about your child's development, definitely come and ask them to me. And I just want to quickly tell you about some exciting giveaways that we're doing. So you've got about 30 minutes left to try to enter to win a set of our high contrast cards. All you have to do is follow us on our socials, fledgingsfly.com, and also Adventure Town Toy Emporium, and you'll be entered to win. We will choose one winner today and one winner tomorrow. And then our grand prize giveaway is 3 months of premium membership, which is 3 customized subscription boxes, a year's worth of milestone tracking, as well as access to 100 to 200 play-based exercises for each month of life. You don't have to do them all each month, but you have access to them. All you have to do, and also part of the grand prize giveaway is also a $100 shopping spree at Adventure Town Toy Emporium. So all you have to do is create your free account, follow us on our socials, and DM us your given name. And if you've been here before and you're familiar with Fledging's Flight, you already have your free account and you've already followed us on our socials, all you have to do is follow us on our podcast at Parents Guide to Child Development. And that is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and also on YouTube. And that's how you'll be entered to win. So our podcast is new. Our new episode on Friday that's dropping is all about how to prevent parental burnout. And the one that's going to drop after that is with a doula, who's an amazing person who is going to talk to us about how to have an exhilarating postpartum experience. So all the information there is all child development related, ways of taking care of yourself, taking care of your child, and we couldn't be more excited to share that with you. So getting on, I want to go ahead and share with you a live demo of the app. And one last thing is, if you make it all the way through my presentation and come back to the Fledgling's Flight booth, there's a super secret giveaway that's only for the people that come back to the booth after this presentation. So make sure you stick around so you can see what the prize is and how you can get it. Fantastic. All right. So this is the landing page. When you create your free account, this is what you will see. So there are 6 places that you can go. You have profile where you can manage your child's membership, add new children, upgrade or cancel memberships. Milestones is where you're going to track your child's 812 milestones that they should achieve by their 4th birthday, not the 12th. Exercises is where you will find 100 to 200 play-based exercises in 6 developmental categories. We'll go into those later. Activities is when you get your customized toolbox. That is where you will get information about what to do with that particular toy and the other toys that come with it. Resources is where you can go for all the information that you need for child development. So these are articles and blogs and research papers that are all about child development. I'll go into more detail about that later. And the last place is where you can shop for amazing toys from around the world that are going to help your child's development and also keep your older children's curiosity stimulated. So let's begin. So let's go to the profile page. Here is where you can manage and add your account. We only need your billing information if you're a premium or a basic member. If you're a free member, we don't need any of your billing information. And then you can go over here to the right, the right-hand side, and to manage all of your accounts. Now, if you're pregnant and you want to enter win our giveaway, you cannot create an account in the future. So you need to create an imaginary child, and I will show you how to do that. And you'll just put today's date, You put your second favorite name in there and then fill out all the other little bits and bobbles, and then you'll be entered to win. So here you can see I have 24 children in this account because this is the one that I do presentations, and you can't delete the children out of the account. So that's why it's super important that you don't choose the name you're planning on naming your child and putting it in there, because that will just make it so you're confused once your child is born. Once you create the account, it's going to start the clock ticking, and it's going to start giving you information that's related to your child's development for that month of life. You can't go backwards, you can't go forwards. It's only the information you need right now. So you put your child's name in, you have the birth date, and then you can choose whether or not they were premature. We're going to call that 5 weeks early or earlier. But if they're born 4 weeks early, we're going to call that full term because they're fully baked and they're just putting on some fat right before they're born. Then you're going to choose the gender, and then you're going to add them. Now you can see Jimena is a basic membership. You can always cancel at any time by pressing this button. We're not going to make you go through a bunch of hoops, and you can upgrade your subscription to premium membership at any time. So we're going to go ahead and scroll down here at the bottom here. You can see some of these have become a member. So if you're free and you want to upgrade your membership, you can choose that here. So we're going to go ahead and hit add a child. So if you create your imaginary child's account, once your child is born, you're going to go here to profile, choose add a child, put your child's name, put their birth date, gestation, gender, and hit save, and they'll show up. If you decide that you would like basic membership, this is tracking your child's milestones, 812 milestones, you can do that here. It's $24, $2 a month. And you can also do premium membership here. So we're going to ask for contact information as far as shipping and billing information. And then you can see here, you can choose your basic membership for $24 or your premium membership for $60 a month. The $60 a month will get you a year's worth of milestone tracking, access to the exercises, as well as your customized toolbox that is specific to your particular child, whatever their developmental needs, whether they're delayed, on track, advanced, or asynchronous. Once you hit join, you'll be prompted to enter your credit card information, and then you are ready to go. It'll send us an email and we'll go ahead and ship your box. Now, milestones is where basic members and premium members go to track their child's development. So here you have at 7 months, we have a little bit of information about what to expect for this particular month. And then you have 6 developmental categories. You can see there are 4 gross motor skills, 7 fine motor skills, 3 cognitive, 7 social emotional, 6 sensory, and 3 communication. We did one earlier today. So there's actually one less of the gross motor skills. So what you should know, in that first year of life, there's almost 100 milestones that your child should achieve, not up until that in that first year of life alone. So when around 6 months, there's about 60 milestones just for that month. So it's really important to be tracking your child's milestones. What you should know, if you take away nothing from this presentation, is that you have 1,000 days from the minute that your baby is born to make as many neural connections in the brain as possible. It is a use it or lose it situation. So from 0 to 36 months is a race against time to make those connections, because once they are pruned and they start pruning them at 36 months, you don't get them back again. So 80% of the brain is between 0 and 3 years. And then 10% is from 3 to 5 years. And the last 10% is between 5 and 21 years. So this is your most critical time. Well, how do you create those connections? Well, we give you play-based exercises. So it's not about academics. It's really about providing experiences. All experiences create connections in the brain. So this is why it's really important. If you are not tracking your child's milestones with us at $2 a month, you should be doing it with someone else, because it's so important, because you don't know what you don't know. You can't help your child if they're delayed, if you don't know that they're delayed. So let's go ahead and go into let's go into fine motor skills. So here you can see the list of milestones that a 7-month-old should achieve for fine motor skills. Here's an overview: points at things with an open hand, bangs an object on a table, throws things on floor on purpose, likes to hold items that make sounds, reaches for objects nearby, grabs feet and brings to mouth, and puts everything in mouth. These are going to sound very familiar to some of you. So let's do puts everything in mouth. And see, because not everybody on boards at birth, we want to give an opportunity for people who are coming in when their child is 6 months or 7 months old or even 2 years old to be able to let us know what milestones their child has already achieved. So here we can, if your child already puts everything in their mouth and they're like 6 months old, you're going to go ahead and hit save milestone. Here it's going to give you an opportunity to record when it happened. So it didn't have to happen today. It could have happened a month ago. So we're going to choose a month ago and then confirm. And then you can see that that badge is now colored in. So you have achieved that particular milestone. There are other ones that are associated with exercises. So for this one, bangs object on a table, you can also see that if your child has not achieved this milestone, there's an exercise that's associated with it that you can actually go ahead and do to help your child achieve this milestone. So here's the name of the milestone, Wacky Kid, or sorry, not the milestone, of the exercise. This is the purpose, bangs on objects of different solidity on a hard surface. And then it also tells you their age, the amount of time you should spend on it, as well as the frequency. So this is an everyday. And then over here is supplies. So small handheld toys made from plastic, fabric, metal, or wood. You want these different textures because they're all going to react to a hard surface differently. So for the first step, you're going to give your child lots of different toys with different textures to hit on different surfaces to give maximum sensory input with large helping of fine motor skills development. And then we have a what to look for. So now that Ava has figured out how to get those arms moving, she's going to put them to use by banging everything that she can get her hands on. Banging is huge developmentally. It requires the ability not only to hold an object and manipulate it, but to make a sound. In this case, by whacking it on a hard surface. Since repetition is the thing that babies love best, she gets a lot of practice wielding a toy like an axe. Your child may have a future as a lumberjack, carpenter, or a drummer. And then we have a pro tip. Before purchasing a toy designed for banging, give your child some time to bang toys that she already is familiar with on different surfaces. And there are different experiments to be done. So it could be on a hard surface or on a pillow. That's going to be different with a wooden spoon on a table. It's going to be a different experience in whacking it on a pillow. So let's go back to milestones and then also go back. You can go back to the main menu by going to the hamburger menu here, your exercises, or clicking the bird on the left-hand side. So here you see the same developmental categories. So gross motor skills are those big muscles that are used for crawling, running, jumping, walking. Fine motor skills have to use with the fingers and hands. Cognitive development has to do with sequencing, problem solving, spatial relationships. Social emotional, and has not only to do with you're regulating your own emotions, but interacting with other people in a healthy way. Sensory development has to do with all the inputs that come in through your five senses, but there's actually more than that. And if you watch one of our podcasts on the hidden senses, you'll find 3 extra ones you didn't even know about. And then communication, which has not only has to do with, very active mouse here that's very anticipatory. Communication has not only to do with a language development, but also communicating through gestures. Your child may not see their first word for the first year, so that's a lot of time for them to be able to communicate with you in different ways in order to communicate their needs, whether it's crying, turning their eyes, turning their head, or pointing at things. So let's go ahead and choose communication. So you can see here, you have a menu of items, and there's 2 pages of it. So there's around 24 exercises just in communication alone for the 7th month of life. So over here, you have the name of the exercise. You have the category that you're in case you forget which tab that you've clicked into, the amount of time you're going to spend. And over here's the frequency. You can see with the communication ones, it's every day. We want you to get used to doing these things every day. I'm going to go back and then now choose cognitive development. And here you can see, again, there's 2 pages of it. There's about 15 exercises here. Again, you can see over here the frequency for this one's only 3 days a week. And over here, it's 4 days a week. So you could actually pair these together to do this in the week. So you're alternating these every other day. Again, there's 100 to 200 play-based exercises that are free that you can do, that you have access to for every month of life. You do not need to do all of them. We recommend that you pick one or two from each developmental category for each week until your child has mastered them. So let's go ahead and choose Hideaway. See, here again, we have the name of the exercise and we have the purpose to help your child discover hidden toys within arm reach while lying on their stomach. Age, time, frequency. Now, 10 minutes. Kids at this age have a very short attention span, around 3 minutes long. So you're going to break this up to a couple times a day. You're not going to expect this to happen 10 minutes all at a go. So moderate your expectations. And then over here, this actually gives you all the nutrients. So we have object permanence, fine motor skills, and bilateral coordination, asymmetrical movement. So let's talk about object permanence and why this is going to be a big deal in your life if you don't know about it. Object permanence means when something is out of sight, it still exists. This is the reason why your baby has separation anxiety and you leave the room because they decided that you no longer exist and they're freaking out. It's also why peekaboo is the most exciting game that they can possibly play with a baby, because you cover yourself up, you've magically disappeared, and then you bring it down and suddenly you exist again. Don't exist, exist. Don't exist, exist. It blows your kid's mind. They think you're a magician. At some point in time, we do want there to be object permanence because you do want the child to know that when you leave the room that you still exist. So this exercise is going to help them learn this particular aspect of cognitive development. Fine motor skills, again, has to do with the use of fingers and hands. You're going to need this for eating and also writing and getting dressed and anything else that you do with your hands. And then the bilateral coordination, asymmetrical movement, has to do with the fact that there's an imaginary line that divides your left half from your right half and your upper body from your lower body. And you need this coordination, otherwise you can't walk. So when you walk, if you notice, you don't go left leg, left arm, right leg, right arm, right leg like a robot. Your body, your upper body, left foot goes first, right arm goes back, and opposites. So it's super important to have this coordination, and also the reason why your child needs to crawl before they walk. Otherwise, their bilateral coordination will not be developed enough, and they will have trouble swimming and they'll have trouble riding a bike. So in this particular exercise, we're talking about asymmetrical movement. So there's two different kinds of symmetrical movement, which is like clapping your hands or touching your head or covering your eyes or covering your ears. Both hands are doing the same thing at the same time. Asymmetrical movement means two different things happening at the same time. So you will need this in order to do a zipper. One hand is holding it and the other one is going up and down. So asymmetrical movement is just using one hand and the other hand isn't doing anything, or opening a jar is asymmetrical movement. So next is supplies. All of our exercises are designed so of things that you have in the house. You shouldn't have to go and buy anything. If you're getting our premium membership boxes, we will send you all the bits and baubles you might need that you might not have around your house, like cookie cutters, like blocks, like different shapes of balls, like straws, and ours are made of hay, ribbons, and pipe cleaners. All these things we will send to you so you don't have to go look for them. So you can see the supplies here are a burp cloth, washcloth, and a blanket and a toy. And then we do a step-by-step. We want you to just glance at your phone. Do not cause a distraction for your child. We do not want the child attracted to the phone. So you're going to glance at it and put it down and then do each steps. As you do this over and over, you will remember the steps and then you won't have to do it anymore. So using the sideline technique, and this is a way that we want you to get in a habit of actually picking up and laying down your child. It's going to strengthen their core muscles. It's going to help them crawl and roll over sooner. And it's really just holding them at their side, supporting their head, but putting them down so their hand that's closest to the ground or to the surface hits first. That hand is going to hit first. They're going to put pressure on it. And when you lower them down, it's going to help build those core strength. So we want you to get in the habit of doing it both on the left side and the right side. So if you see when we mentioned sideline technique, it is that. It's going to help them build their neck and core muscles. And then you're going to roll your child onto their stomach, and then you're going to lay on the toy in front of them within arm's reach. 7-month-old's probably not crawling yet, so we do need to make sure that it's within arm's reach. You're going to place the burp cloth or washcloth over top or blanket so that part of it is showing. So if I had a cloth here, I'd just make the legs stick out. because now it's not object permanence, right? That hasn't disappeared because some of it's still showing, right? And then wait to see if your child reaches for the toy. If not, tap on the toy to draw their attention. If they still don't reach for it, then remove the cloth, like, ta-da, you found it. Again, covering less of the toy until she reaches for the toy. And then once she grabs the toy, reward with a kiss and allow her to enjoy the toy for a little bit, and then repeat. Now, as you do object permanence, and as they keep grabbing for it, cover it more until the whole thing is covered. And then you'll see whether or not they understand that that toy still exists, even though it's under the blanket. You cover it slowly more, and only less and less and less is showing of it. So that will help build that concept of object permanence. So, what to look for? Your child is beginning to get the sense of object permanence, knowing that something can exist even when it's out of sight. This knowledge will prompt her to search for an object you have already partially hidden and to drop toys and other objects over the side of a crib or a high chair to watch you retrieve them. Lucky you. As your child begins to master this task, change the toy and how much you cover it to keep them challenged. Moving on. Oh, thank you so much, Cody. Yes, I know I'm talking really fast because I only have 5 minutes left and so much more to show you. Okay, so now we are going to go back to the main menu and we're going to look at activities. So every person who gets a box will get a piece of paper with the particular box number that is for their child for that month. And then it's going to have a QR code that's going to take you to a page that looks nothing like this. And again, it's an exercise page for this particular exercise. Again, age, time, frequency. Look at all the nutritional goodness here for developmental goodness right there. All the steps that you're familiar with as well. And then there's a way that you can complete the questionnaire. Someone earlier was like, how do we tell you what are the feedback of how our child's experience is? So you can fill out this questionnaire. So after the first week of working with this month's toy, what was your child's experiment? It's always the same three options. Needs more time, ready for next, or way too easy. We're going to say needs more time and go to the next question. The next one is, after the second week of working with this mentor, what was your child's experience? Needs more time, ready for next, way too easy. We're going to choose needs more time. And then we're asking about the third week. We're going to say ready for next. And then what was your child's overall experience in this month's tour? Ready for next. And then you're going to hit submit and return activities, and it'll give us an email that will tell us what toy. We're going to take the information you give us about when your child was born, whether or not they were premature, as well as the milestones they achieved, when they achieved them, and this information. This is the most critical piece of information. We can't ship you your next box until we hear from you. So oftentimes we have to text you and say, can you fill out your questionnaire? It's time for your next toolbox. All right, let's move on. So the other thing I was telling you about is resources. Again, we have over 1,200 resources in different categories. So here we have age, developmental skill, child development, gifted children, developmental challenges. You can find them here. And the last thing that is on here is shopping toys. So here, this goes to, let me share to this tab instead. So this is where you can go to buy toys. Now, some of these exercises will have a toy associated with them. You can buy it in app. For fledglings, this is where you're going to go, and you can see that there's toys segregated from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. We have a bath time area, games for 3 to 4-year-olds, puzzles, vehicles, trains, push and pull toys, ball toys, books, blocks, ride-on toys, life skills, and climbing toys. We got it all. We source our products from 38 different countries. We have the best that the world has to offer. This also is what makes our box different than anybody else's box, is that our competitors gives every kid the same box of stuff. We give you the best the world has to offer. We can change toys out in a hot minute. We have over 3,280 of them. We can specify, drill down to the most specific developmental skill and address that particular issue. We are helping children who are delayed, on track, advanced, or asynchronous. And then synchrony means that they're both delayed and advanced at the same time. And that is more common than you think. All right, I got 2 minutes left. I just want to remind you about the giveaways. So first of all, follow us on our socials, fledglingsflight.com. Oh, one other thing too, in chat, you will see you can register, add a gift membership to your registry for basic and also for premium. You can also pre-order the Fledglings Flight, and you can also do a 3-month trial. We do have a coupon code, so 10% off Prego, 10% off a 3-month trial of the premium membership, which means 3 customized toolbox, a year worth of milestone tracking, plus the exercises, plus the resources. You'll get 3 of those. Use the coupon code Prego 20 or FF Prego 2020, and then you'll get 10% off of that. You can also do your 3-month trial, or you can pre-order as well and get it started from the minute that your baby is born. Because again, you only have 1,000 days from the minute that your child is born in order to create those connections. And that's why we're here. Again, follow us on our socials for the high contrast cards, create your account, and DM us your handle, and follow us on our socials to be entered to win the grand prize giveaway. And then also, for those of you who already have an account, follow us on our podcast to be entered to win the grand prize. And the last thing, because I'm done now, is come to the booth to find out about the super secret giveaway. Thank you. Bye-bye.